you are about participation trophies, then derbying is not for you.
Hannah is, she's a fireball.
Can't weigh more than 100 pounds wet. And that was pretty impressive to see a young girl go out there with a bunch of seasoned, hard-hitting drivers in California.
Thanks, Hannah, for hopping on tonight. It's kind of a late night for everybody.
Yeah.
It's, doing what we're dealt with, late flights, the works.
A little after midnight.
That works for you guys.
Oh.
Did you ever drive out of here?
Yeah, drive an hour.
Hour.
Yeah, not too bad.
Hour's not so bad, I guess.
I drive about 50 feet up the stairs to the hotel room.
Yeah, or the nearest bar.
Yeah.
There's a lot here.
Perfect.
Well, thanks for coming on and joining us here. Obviously, we're down here talking with some people that have a lot to do with Gladiators of Steel, which obviously you were a part of there. How was that experience overall for you?
It was a really fun experience.
Was it?
And we went out to California, we went out to India, and just to learn about a whole nother world of derbying and how they do it was it was life-changing,
Right.
Especially being kind of a newcomer and after watching my dad, but I've always been at the Utah shows and I've always seen the drivers here, but to go out to California and Ohio and all these things with my dad and like Kansas for Blizzard Bash, it's to see how every single person derbies differently is nothing that you can nothing can match that. And so having the chance to be in Gladiators and get to see all of it, it's been amazing.
Even the shows themselves, not only the drive styles or the build styles, but the shows themselves vary a lot, kind of how they're ran in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
So being able to travel, we travel around and go to various different shows, and it's different. None of it's, not to say that any of it's one way's right, one way's wrong. It's just there's different speeds to the show. Some of them are a little more slow paced. Some places you go where there's no downtime. They're kicking them out the door as fast as possible. That's just how they run their shows. So, I totally understand that. You've ran a few shows yourself. Been flipped over a little bit yourself.
May have done that myself.
Yeah. We've seen that. But you kept going.
Yeah.
I know what Dad says on camera, but how did Dad really feel about that?
Oh my God! Afterwards he ran and he's like, "That was so fucking awesome."
Yeah, family's the biggest supporters. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. And you guys, you're a derby family.
Yeah.
And everyone sees it across the nation, basically.
Yeah.
Your dad's paint jobs pretty much hit social media by storm. And it's been a few years back now already, but ever since, the Shelley name's been huge.
I think all people, not all that they know him for, but that's a big
part of it.
Thing that people are like, oh, it's a paint job.
Right. I think it was, I don't remember what year. It's like 73 to 6 Caddy was like that first one I seen personally, I guess. That was like huge. Had, it was like, was airbrushed on.
Yeah.
You don't see that.
Yeah.
I paint my cars, but come on, that's a little, to me, it's like, holy cow, that's next level stuff. My fixed up cars don't even look that nice. But it's awesome.
But people see it once and they're going to remember it.
Right, exactly, and they do.
And they remember who's driving the car, and then a lot of times too, that becomes a fan favorite.
Right.
Best paint jobs, especially for the younger, the kids and stuff that are there. You come out there with a cool paint job.
It's memorable.
It's memorable,
yeah.
Right?
I'd rather go on a vacation, but a paint job's cool too.
Yeah.
Does the same guy paint all the time for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know where he went, but so we might not have cool paint jobs this year. But yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
To watch something he'll draw on paper and be like, oh, this is what I have, and I'm like, oh, especially for my California car.
Right.
It's like, oh, I don't, see the end result of it, but in his head, he can just
Picture it.
it all. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that. That
Right.
is like amazing to me.
Right.
I'd be drawing stick figures, with chalk. I can't do it. That takes a lot of patience to do some of the stuff like
And
that.
I don't have the patience
Right.
for
No.
that.
So how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings. So I have an older brother, Tyson, my
Okay.
older sister, and then my younger brother as well.
And are they all in the sport, or?
Tyson is. So
Yeah.
he's been a big influence, other than my dad, of me derbying. He's actually the one who made me. He shoved me into my first derby car.
Okay.
Tyson
And Tyson did, yeah.
Brothers.
I know. He was like, oh, I wonder. He's like, test out the seat, make sure it's comfy. And I was like, okay. So I get in. He's like, oh, and here's my boots, and here's my coat. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, you're running the power.
Is this at a show?
right now. What?
This was at a show?
Yeah, this was at
Perfect.
the Delta show. I think it was 2017, and it was my
Okay.
first derby I ever ran, and I was just, oh god, I'm like, what is happening? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, so this is how you turn it on, and showed me all the buttons and set me out.
So do him and Dad build together?
Yes, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do all of it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the spectator, making sure they got their drinks.
There's always a shop supervisor.
Yeah, and I'm a
Always.
shop
Very
supervisor.
important role.
Yeah. I
Very
mean,
important role.
beer's got to stay cold. Water, torch got to stay lit. There's those people.
Yeah, and that's what I am to them.
Do you have, obviously we're just starting into 2023 here, and you don't have to go into details if you don't want to, but are you planning on running a show this year?
I'm hoping to run Delta on the 4th
Hoping?
of July. So
Okay.
we'll kind of see how that goes this year, but
Mm-hmm.
because my dad will be gone for a while this year. So hopefully, or if I can convince my brother to build me a car, then hopefully I can do Delta, because that's my all-time favorite show.
Yeah? Tyson, you got a job to do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
She needs a car.
Yeah. Hopefully he watches, I guess.
Hopefully.
Giving him a shout out.
Follow him on YouTube. I think it's Adrenaline Addicts, but double check him. Tyson, build me a car, please.
Hey,
Now you
that's
have
all
to.
it takes, maybe.
Now you have to.
Yeah. He wanted that.
Yeah, no, but like I said, we talked about you've been derbying, you said since 17 was your first year?
I believe so, yeah.
17. And your brother been doing it he's older than you.
Yes, yeah, he's about, I want to say 6 or 8 years older than I am.
Any thoughts of trying to get all you guys on the track at the same time?
I want to.
I think it'd be super cool.
I'm scared to run with Tyson because in Delta of 2018, I hit his wife so hard in the powder puff that I broke her ankle. I gave her permanent nerve damage in her knee, and I gave her a concussion. So he said that if he ever runs with me, he is going to fuck
Payback.
me up, and I am so scared. But I think it would be fun to have all of us in the arena and see what happens.
Grudge
because-
match, right?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't think they'd have mercy on me either, which would be the fun part too.
Probably not.
I don't want to get hit by either of them, but
Right.
I want to hit them.
Yeah.
Hey, those are sometimes the funnest shows.
Some of the best shows, I've
Yeah.
ever been in was with a couple friends, realistically, and then it's just about having fun and bragging rights.
Oh
Yeah. The trophy money doesn't matter.
Yeah, throw it out the
Who
window.
can mess the other guy up the most at the end of the day? And
Family dinners,
Yes.
so fun after.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Only downside is, if you got your parts in a lot of those cars,
Right.
then you're like, ah.
Right. Yeah. I see Tyson building quite a few cars and building for other people and things like that. And I don't know, does your dad build too, for people, or is it mostly just Tyson?
Not for people, no.
Yeah.
He usually does it, and then we have someone that helps us as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Tyson, he's been building a lot of cars for people.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, it's all over. You see it all over, which is cool.
He likes it too. I think he built one for Joker, I believe. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super cool.
Some people don't have the time, and some people have a lot of time, and honestly just love building cars. Like, you hear that from a lot of guys that have been in the sport that, we were just talking with Jeff Christman last week, building cars is half the fun.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of guys, they'd rather, they have more fun building the car than they do actually running it, but it's
It's crazy
it's
to me.
right, which is crazy, but it's, it's how far can I push everything?
Right.
Or how can I use what I'm given in the rules and turn it into as strong as possible, and obviously, that getting out on the track. Sometimes you're looking at some of these other cars and you're like, oh, Lord.
Right. So did you have to travel in, or do you live in Salt Lake now? Because you're not from Salt Lake.
Nope. So I'm originally from Pleasant Grove, but I currently live in Peason.
Okay.
And so it's only about an hour drive to Salt Lake.
Okay. So aside from your Derby Gladiators of Steel life, what do you do on the other side of the fence?
I like hunting, shed hunting, snowmobiling, but my dad sold my sled, so.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. Very fun season right now.
Yeah.
But shed hunting is just getting out in the hills is.
Okay.
It's a stress reliever. It's
Outdoorsy.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you walk up on a bighorn and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
After 5 miles, that was a little bit worth it, I guess.
Yeah, right.
What town did you grow up in?
I grew up in Pleasant Grove.
Just in Pleasant Grove, okay. How big is Pleasant Grove?
Pretty big now.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, we had our little neighborhood friends, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy of how much it's gone up.
Right.
And
Like, big as in, how big was, like, your school class?
probably like,
Hundreds?
yeah,
Oh,
probably
okay.
high hundreds. I
Okay.
mean, like, probably like 900 kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like, I
pretty
mean, it
big.
was big.
Yeah, pretty big. Yeah.
I graduated with 13 people, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you graduated big.
yeah,
but-
mine was a little bit bigger, but still nothing like that. So that's what, when you watch some videos and stuff there, and, see on Gladiators of Steel here, when you and your dad are building that car, right? Where's that at?
That's in Fairview. So that's where my dad grew up.
Okay. In Fairview. Then you look at that, and some people think, small town. Fairview's got to be a lot smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you blink and if you
Yeah,
drive through and you
that's-
blink, you're gone.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of in the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I was getting, because a lot of people associate that, they might not get the full backstory, so they think everybody lives in maybe this town or that town or that town. It's like, no, but we have mutual places that we got to get together to build cars. So that was something that, I'd been asked, and I said I'd bring it up. Kind of one thing everybody wants to know is where people are actually from. Where do they actually live? Are they all, everybody lives in the same house, or no, we all have our own lives.
Yeah.
You all live your own lives, but, for a lot of people like yourselves, Derbing is a family sport,
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, I've been going to it since I was younger than a year. I mean,
Right.
Right.
I've completely grown up in it, and he's always included in us in building it and
Right.
painting it. I mean, he would bring home the Derby cars, drive them down our hill, and park them in our backyard so we could sit and spray paint them.
Right.
And so it's always been something that we've, as a family, all loved.
Yep.
Yeah, not even just the family. You mean the people you meet turns into a bigger family.
Oh, yeah.
Almost, I think everyone we've talked to in the last months, it's been a few months now, everyone has told us how much of a family feel they've got. We always ask them, when are you going to quit? When do you think you'll quit? When do you think you'll retire? And almost all of their answers are, we never know when we'll retire, because that is all of our friends. It's all, that is their family. They know nothing else other than derbying, so it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, you see that too, and the exact same thing you talked about there is, Gladiators of Steel hits it hard in their TV show, and it's, they speak to a lot of veteran drivers though, through the series, and almost all of them will tell you the exact same thing. Everybody there's a family.
Yeah.
They may hate each other on the track, but they'll be drinking a beer afterwards. I mean, that's not just, at, the bigger shows, even the county shows, same thing. It's no matter what show you're at, you'll have the same problem where on the track, you hate that guy. Or you're trying to put your family member in the hospital.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy.
yeah, holy cow.
But
We
a-
still fight over it.
Right.
Well,
But
I couldn't
after
imagine
that,
why.
Yeah.
but after that, you're drinking beer.
Right.
Hey, good hit, good show. You whooped my ass,
That's
or
crazy.
I whooped your ass, or whatever. A little different when you're out there with family,
Yeah.
but it all comes around.
Yeah, I've never got to run against family, so I can't even speak to that. So that's, to me, is just,
You should try try it.
Wow, that's wild. I don't
You haven't
know.
got to run against your brother yet, though.
Wow.
Never mind, don't try it. I take
Yeah.
it back because I don't want to run against Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to run against my brother twice. Beat him both times. Ran against my sister once, and she beat me. But
Okay. See, maybe you got luck on
that's for
your
a different
side.
story. That's for a different story.
Yeah.
But I get it. You do have some plans to run some shows this year, at least one
At least one.
to try. And anyway, getting back to it here, you plan on running one show this year coming up. Hopefully, your brother builds you a car.
Hopefully.
You got to build her a car. She gave you a shout out.
You almost rolled me over. So the famous clip that's been
Oh yeah,
That
showed.
was you?
that was him. That
hundreds
almost
of
got
times.
rolled.
That was me. That was
Yeah.
me.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
That was fun to fix.
Even my sister, who doesn't pay attention to the Derby world at all, she's kind of excluded from it, seen the clip, and she had to send it to me. Oh, so that's how you got famous, is almost getting rolled over. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, thanks. Thanks, sis.
If that berm wouldn't have been there, he'd have sent you to the Xander zone.
Yeah. It was pretty close.
Yeah,
Pretty
you
close. Oh,
That
yeah.
was a pretty good hit, though.
It was.
That was like, it was cool to
It was a
watch.
good hit.
It was
Steel
really
feel
cool
it.
to watch.
Damn good camera angle on it too.
Oh, yeah.
It
Really captured how fucked up you got in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I was ready to kiss the dirt. I was right there. I looked at it.
yeah, between that and Bandel trying to send you to the moon right
First night.
Right, the first night, yeah. Bandel tried to send your car over the berm instantly.
Hey, you did.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't
did.
try.
I know, but you were loving the berms there during the show, but
Pando has no mercy.
no, he
No.
don't. Wild man.
No, I ran the first Vegas show with him. And
Sure.
I could see it was him when he hit me, and I flipped him off. I kind of have a habit of, that's my initial reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He hit me so goddamn hard, and I looked back, and he was like, sorry. And then we went
Right.
to dinner with him later, and he was like, sorry, I just stopped.
That's him.
You were flipping me off.
Yeah, that's Bandel though.
So are you kind of a hot-headed driver?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really try not to take it onto the actual road, because then I forget that I'm a 5'4" girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't fight.
Hey, well, you can still yell in the car and cuss them out and flip them off. That's fine.
Yeah, plenty of that. It's pretty bad. I have to kind of cool it a little bit when I remember I'm in Salt Lake or something where people are batshit crazy.
Does your dad ever tell you gotta tone it down a bit, or
No, I got
does
it
he?
from him.
Yeah. Okay.
So the question, is Dad a hot-headed driver?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like on the road he is, but like in derbies, like watching him drive,
Yeah.
I feel like he's so collected because he's
Sure.
so experienced.
Right.
Like watching him, because I mean he's so
Some guys can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
They can hold it back and get take a licking from somebody and
And he
not
will
instantly react.
no, and
Right.
he will wait and wait and wait
Yep.
during the derby until he gets that perfect shot.
Makes a good
And
driver.
he will- oh yeah,
Makes a good driver though.
and I don't. I try to understand it because I want
Right.
to drive like him,
Right.
and watching him is unreal.
Yeah, you see that a lot from some of those experienced guys. There was a lot of those guys at down here in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, even Maymania,
Yeah.
Heber, you guys got a lot of experience. Well, they're all over.
No, but I mean, like, the Vegas show, it brought so many different drivers from all over the country. And you got to watch some of those guys. And there was some guys that rolled up that you knew were heavy hitters. That
Like the
guy's
Shelleys.
well, yeah, but like that, like Bandau, another example like that, like Silly Willy was down here.
Oh, yeah.
Like those guys are hammers. When they're out on the track, they're gonna let you know it because they really don't care if they have to come all the way across the track. They're going to.
Oh yeah.
And then you got some of the other guys that are out there that when they pull onto the track, you watch and I'm like, okay, they'll drive hard when they need to, or when the time comes to, but they'll drive smart.
Yeah, like Randy Mikowski, I think it
Yeah.
was UTC. He just ran the wire class.
Yep.
Came down, drove it, and right as he pulled into the arena, I was like, he's gonna win because he knows how to drive smart.
Right.
And when he wants to hit hard, he's gonna hit hard. But
Right.
he walked out of there with a free car and $4,000.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Shane Dookie too.
Comes a time. Yeah.
They're just smart. They drive. Don't get me wrong. They will drive hard.
Right.
but they've also got enough experience in them that they're just smart. And you sometimes you don't even know they're out there, and then you hear it, and it's like, oh yeah, now he got bored. Here it comes. I mean, that happened out in Montana with those guys.
Right.
But it was crazy to see all them people down here all on the same playing field at the same show. And I think that's what, like I said, it brought a lot of people out that don't normally travel for shows like that.
Yeah.
So do the Shelleys enjoy the nightlife after the derbying? Like party a little bit?
I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a clip in there where my dad hit someone, or Tyson did.
Yeah.
And I was screaming. I was so fucked up that I don't remember doing that. And then we hit Fremont Street after, and I couldn't tell you one thing that happened. I know I won like $100 from like this hanging thing.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Perfect.
It's Vegas, though.
It was very fun. I love Vegas.
But not even Vegas. It's the other shows, the load the car up, sit back, open the cooler, do whatever, So I enjoy that sometimes more than like the big shows where
Absolutely.
You got the bars and stuff. It's just the networking with all the people at the Derby and whatever else.
Like a lot of the county shows, it's a lot of the same thing no matter where you go, but especially like where we're from in North Dakota, we don't have the population count to have the numbers of drivers that a lot of other places
like
have.
Here.
It's just a mathematics game, but every driver in North Dakota knows every driver. We all know each other. And
Is that a good or a bad thing?
both.
Both?
Yeah.
You got your drama, just like you do anywhere.
Yeah.
But at the same time, any one of those guys
Would drink beer with all of them.
sit down and drink a beer with you. Or if you were in a pinch and like, hey, especially at a show, I need help, they're going to come.
Right.
Any one of them's going to help. Because we all grew up within, 100 miles of each other one way or another. Or if there's some guy in between us that went here, or that lives there. So everybody knows everybody. You're running in these shows in North Dakota over the years, no matter what class you're running against the same group of guys.
Right.
For years.
That would be so fun.
For years. It's the same guys. You get some new guys that come in every now and then, but for the most part, some of these guys that have been doing it 15, 20, 25 years, they've been running against the same people.
Yeah.
For years,
It's truth, though.
And they'll talk all the shit they want to each other, but then they'll get out and high-five each other and have a beer afterwards because it's the same people they've been talking shit to for 20 years.
But you have to, because then once that friendship's lost, you probably won't ever see those people back.
No.
Yep.
So, it comes.
It's part of the sport, though. It really is. All the shit talking, it's just
Plenty of it.
It's part of the sport. The politics is part of the sport.
That's what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
It does.
It creates the competition, or it creates,
And like the pit area after is like the funnest part for me. It's where all of like the exciting things happen of where
sometimes some fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Which,
Is there a lot of
Love
fights
that.
down here? As far as like pit fights, people maybe don't settle it in the arena?
sometimes, not as often as you would
Think.
think.
Yeah.
But I mean, people have it out for each other sometimes after
Oh, yeah.
Derby, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Especially Utah shows with all that money on the line that they got a lot of time. I mean, that's
Money talks.
one thing that we hear, it gets a little wild down in Utah because of the money that's on the line. People get a little crazy when there's
Hey,
More
there's a lot of money. That
more
money makes people move.
Yeah.
I mean, May Mania, I think it was last year, there was a bad call, and I may or may not have jumped the fence and tried to fight an official.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
It's usually, that's what May Mania is my yearly fight, because I end up trying to fight at least one person because I get drunk before the Derby.
That's 2 years ago. We had a driver get out of a car and throw helmets, yada yada. But then his buddies in the crowd started fist fighting each other, and then it turned into like a huge brawl. And then the cop standing there, and I told the cop, "Are you gonna do anything about it?" And he just looked at me. I thought that's what happens at derbies. I was like, "No, not that. Like, take care of that."
We're on board though. I mean, sheriff's department, good show.
Yeah, he
though.
just wanted to let it happen.
Yeah,
It's just like, yeah, whatever.
That adds effect to the show. We're like, all right.
And we were kind of stressed. I was like, God dang, it was a fight. What's the venue going to think? And the venue told us like a week later, the town just loved it. They loved the fight. We're like, We didn't love the fight. We absolutely did not love the fight.
More so of a pushing match with a lot of yelling, but still, it caught us off guard when we're, he's on the berms, I'm running cameras trying to match it, and then all of a sudden there's, before you know
fisticuffs behind you.
Helmets are flying in the middle of the arena, and people are come flying out of the stands to run out,
Right.
But again, all in the name of Demolition Derby.
Yeah.
Right?
It's part of it.
And none of those guys that were out there, and none of us, we're not going to trade it for anything. We're going to keep doing it.
At the end of the day, I get pretty worked up in the stands when I'm not running, so I can't say much.
Absolutely.
It's probably one of the hardest places to be.
It is.
Running is because you're watching it all happen, and you're like,
yeah.
What can I do about this? And apparently, my go-to is trying to fight officials that are.
I have a lot more
bigger than I am.
after standing on the berm. I have a lot more appreciation for officials.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I still get mad wherever I go, it's just how it is,
Yeah.
But I have a lot more feelings for them because I know what they go through. There's most everyone yells at them.
A long day after teching cars and dealing with people and going back and forth. I'm like, I say sorry to him afterwards, and I'm like, sorry I did that. He's like, no, it's okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a little worked up.
All in fun though.
Yeah.
It's definitely one sport that no matter where you go or travel to, no matter what shows you go to, you're going to meet different people. And that them people, you could run into them a year later, like, hey, thanks for that help. You helped me do whatever a year and a half. Load my car on a trailer 2 years ago.
Right.
And you can still sit and have a beer with that person and pick up a conversation where you left off, because that's just basically how the Derby community is. Yeah, you get an oddball every now and then that, don't want to help anybody or whatever, but 99% of the guys will help anybody do anything. And I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time walking away from it.
Yeah.
Right.
And once you see, I could name 10 guys in my hometown that won't come over and help me at the drop of a dime.
That will or won't?
Won't, right? That aren't Derby guys. Just friends.
Yeah.
You got your friends, but like especially when it's car related stuff, or especially working on a Derby car, you call one of those guys. Y'all come over right now.
Right.
They could come from an hour away. Y'all come over. Y'all come help you at your shop for the next 4 nights in a row.
And eat pizza, and that's
pizza,
about it. At midnight until 3 in the morning.
Right. Yeah. But we've all got those, those of us in the Derby world, we've all got those friends. Some of these guys build, I don't run very much anymore. You don't run very much anymore, unfortunately. But there's people, especially down here in Utah and North Dakota too, but they build 5, 6, 7, 8 cars a year. You can't do that without friends and family. Like you've got your brother, your father, but even them, they obviously going to help each other.
Yeah.
And if they wouldn't, they wouldn't be able to run as hard as they do.
No.
It takes an army. So it's cool to see some of them families like yours and some of the other ones that are out there where, they're able to keep putting out competitive cars,
right?
And drive competitive. And people, people might think, oh, they won't be back the next weekend. And then they are.
Yeah.
and then
they're like, oh, damn it. Here they are again,
So maybe to wrap up and end with, are we going to see you more in Gladiators of Steel? Is there stuff to come in the future?
I think there is. I think that we're getting kind of a season 2 to kind of continue the story and show more derbying and show hopefully different states and how they derby. Because I know we went out to Bash for Cash in Ohio, and seeing the builds out there was
they have
crazy.
Yeah.
And then seeing how they drive, I'm like, oh, if you took that and you drove, everybody has their different ways of derbying, but if you took that and you drove the Utah way, you'd not maybe win every time, but to show how amazing their builds are.
It's a lot slower paced out there, and then the builds are they're through the roof.
And they have the motors to do those hour-long heats that I'm like, how are you doing this?
Right.
And so, Utah is just so much different than everywhere else, and
it is.
We can get some coverage on Blizzard Bash so I can go out there again, because that is an amazing show.
Yeah, Blizzard Bash is always cool.
It's always a good
time.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing. National heat this year was almost 2 hours, or was 2 hours. In my opinion, that's too long.
Yeah, just kind of leave a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. You guys just just quit now.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Someone pulled their flag.
Yeah.
please.
There's a lot of money on the line. Nobody wants to give it up, right? So everybody wants to fight for it.
At,
It's hard
at
to
some
make-
point, though, it's not even money. It's all about the fame afterwards.
right.
It's all bragging, right?
Yeah. You want the belt.
Blizzard Bash. Yeah.
I won, or we won as a team or whatever. And I totally get it. It's one of those things. It's like, how do you differentiate to say like this is too
Right.
long? We're gonna stop it. How do you stop it?
Yeah, you
You only can yell at guys so many because that guy that you go yell at that guy, you need to turn it up. Well, he might be. I can't give this thing any more RPMs or it shuts off because we've already been battling for an hour.
Right.
So I get it, but
So hopefully that, and that comes into play too. Hopefully, Gladiators covers some of that too, to be like,
Right.
there are heats that are so long. How do they do it?
Right.
What are their builds like? Because Utah heats are 6 minutes max.
Sure.
Right. But it comes into a mental thing when you're in a car that long. I think, I don't know, was it Winter Slam, like 2015? My heat was 58 minutes. And like, you're just like, I was mentally exhausted, not even like physically from driving the car. It's the thinking and the driving the whole time. I was mentally shot.
Right.
Oh,
I got out of the car and everyone wanted to party afterwards. I was like, I just want to go back to the hotel and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It was only a hour show. It was only an hour of my time, but holy cow,
I thought,
just
that would
exhausted.
get
Yeah,
hard.
but it's one of those things. It's the style. You got to kind of drive with where you're at, like you were saying. So it'd be nice to see. Where are we going to get to see all this footage?
You can see it on willhousetv.com right now. There's the first 6 episodes, I believe, and they're pretty good. It's worth watching it. Probably watch it in family-friendly version if you have kids. Please, I'm so sorry. But it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's good to watch. It shows a lot of how derbying came to be, and
yeah,
watching the experienced guys talk about it and seeing how much it's changed, like TJ was saying earlier, even
Right.
just the past 10 years.
right.
And
No, it's good for the sport, and I'm happy to see it. I would hope everyone's happy to see it because there needs to be some new light at some point.
absolutely. I think honestly, they do a wonderful job of it. I love all the. I've obviously watched it there. The first, especially the first 2 episodes, and you get to see some of these drivers on there that, if you follow the derby world enough, some of them guys talking got
Many years.
of experience in the sport. To see them still out there just like it's their first week in a derby car, just,
Right, and still getting butterflies.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Still just as excited, still just as happy to be getting out on the track, still complaining about techs because we all do. We all do.
Yeah.
It's just that stuff's never going to change. And it's those guys have been doing it for 15, 20 years, and you get to see that.
Right.
Watching the show, and I don't know another place you're gonna get that kind of footage.
You won't?
You can't.
Won't.
So
Well,
very,
thanks.
very well done. But
Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming in this late,
yeah,
thanks for
chatting
having me.
with us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, safe travels.
You guys too.
catch
Have
you.
a safe plane flight.
Well, as long as it's not delayed again.
Hopefully not. That would suck.
I don't even know what they didn't even say. I just figured it was bad weather here, maybe.
no, our pilot got sick.
Oh,
that's what
really?
it was. Yeah, I was